Hello. Hello. Hopefully people can hear me okay. Let me know if you can't. Welcome to tonight's stream. I am trying out a Saturday evening stream just to see how this goes. And like I said in the last stream, I wanted to try doing more of these when I can. And I'm just trying to find a good sort of spot in the schedule to do that. My goal over the next few months is really to get progress made on the level design for Cabs of Chaos, and I figure this is such a great way to not be AWOL while I'm working on the game, and hopefully produce some content that is valuable to people that are watching, or just something that people can do to hang out and watch while we do this. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to spend maybe a couple hours probably doing some more level design work. I want to add some features to my little building tool as well, so we might start by doing that. But yeah, thanks for joining tonight's stream. As always, feel free to leave any questions or comments down in the description or in chat, and I'll do my best to answer whenever I can. But I think probably the best thing to do is just jump straight into it. Let me know if there are any issues with sound or anything like that. Yeah, without further ado, let's jump in. I think we're still good with the layout from last time, although it looks like let's have a look. Just making sure that this actually transform. There we go. It's actually like lined up nicely. I have just adjusted the chat. Oops. Can I grab the right piece? Let's grab the chat. I noticed the chat was like tiny last time, so I'm trying to fix that this time, and hopefully that's gonna be a bit better than it was before, but we will see. I might switch to, I don't know, if you want to be able to read chat, let me know, and I'll do my best to make that more readable. But hopefully that's good. As always, let me know where you're watching from and what you're up to tonight, obviously, rather than watching this. I guess I'll start by catching you up with what I've been doing offline. As of the last stream, we left, we were doing this little piece down here in the area. I also turned the fog rendering wasn't working in the last version of the build, and I fixed that. I turned it back on. I updated the repo that I was using over on GitHub, and yeah, there's now fog how it's supposed to look, so it looks a little bit more atmospheric and a little bit better. So let's just jump straight in. I don't know, I can't remember how much of this I built on stream versus off stream. I think I started doing some of the work over here off stream. So as I mentioned last time, I'm trying to sort of complete this area, and we're pretty much there at this point. So I've started building out the edge of the level here. There's a sort of alley that I didn't take into full account last time that I'm sort of trying to make work this time around. And yeah, the main thing I've done since the last stream is work on another one of the destination buildings, which is a sort of department store. There's a department store in Vancouver called Hudson's Bay, and it's based off of the Hudson Bay across Canada. In Vancouver specifically, there's a little like creek area called False Creek. So today I had just made this little gag, and the actual destination that you drop people off is a place called Tight Fit. So I had to just like squeeze that sign in there. So that's in there now. Yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing. And I think we'll just hang out and continue this little area. Hopefully by the end of the stream we can get this little back alley done. And I kind of want to make some more props for this, to be honest. I've realized that I'm kind of running out of it's a constant battle of not spending forever doing artwork. It's like I'd probably live without it for a bit, and then, you know, in a few months' time when the level is done, which is probably the smarter thing to do, is at that point have the level laid out, right? And start doing a lot of like finite details, so more props and things like that, because I don't want to go crazy. And plus all of these, I need to turn off some of the physics on all these things. But yeah, anyway, let's start with probably a building. I think, you know, just like I kind of like at the back of whatever this building would be. Maybe I just duplicate it again. I do want to add in the support for like I lost my train of thought. Yeah, I want to fill this area in. Right, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, so I want to try and make it more interesting than, because like if you're driving down here, I think it just being the back of some buildings is not super interesting. I mean, obviously there can be props and stuff there. Or maybe it's fine because it's kind of supposed to be a shortcut more than anything else. There could be cars parked here. Like there could be a little parking lot. That would probably vibe, I think. Right? Like at least a little bit. Maybe behind these buildings there's like, you know, a little lot or something. What do we, let's have a look. Let's take a little look at the old street view. Because there's quite a few sort of back alleys and stuff, and I don't know, like parks, parking, small little parking lots and stuff. I don't know. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, something. Let me bring this over. I don't know if street. Yeah, I don't know, I think something like this maybe. There's just like a lot with some parking or something. That could be interesting. Maybe. Did this? Yeah, it did go down here. Okay, cool. This would probably work. I think something like this would make sense. There's just a sort of space with some cars. Let's try that. See if it works. It might not work. All right. So to achieve that, what do we want to do? I do have a sort of parking lot gate. We might need to make something. Although this version is just a sort of curb. I think that makes sense. It's just like curbed, and then there's maybe like a fence at the back. Yeah, that could work. Okay, let's do that. Let's just try that. I think this is basically the material that I want. So it's weird. I'm currently working in 2 different versions of Unity, and things are all over the place. Settings from my laptop are not the same as the one on this machine. Everything's in the wrong place. Okay, so let's simplify this spline aggressively. And hey, greetings from Turkey. Wow, what time is it in Turkey? That must be pretty early in the morning, no? Because the UK is like 8 hours from now, so. $7:30 a.m. You're watching from Japan. Wow, hello. I didn't know anybody from Japan watched this channel. I like konnichiwa. I have actually been trying to learn Japanese lately. I think I'm on like 200 days on Duolingo. I'm enjoying it, but I can't speak Japanese yet. And it'll be a few years probably. But I do want to visit at some point. I think we want to keep this flat. Well, I don't know. The fact that it could sort of angle up is interesting. Actually, I don't know. Yeah, I kind of like that. It sort of goes up to meet this platform. That makes sense. Just from like a layout standpoint, that sort of thing does happen quite a lot in space. It doesn't really need to be. We don't need to be super. I'm way more precise when I'm doing this than I probably need to be, especially during this being like the first pass of the actual art. And then yeah, so that's the edge of. That's the edge of that. All right, that'll probably do. This is upper right. We want to put this in the upper middle. So let's pop that there. And that is probably fine. And then we want a sort of curb to go along there. So it looks like it's kind of planned. Yeah, you know, it makes sense. Like quite often there's these sort of like ramped up parking lots. There'd be a fence back here. Yeah, okay. I think we can make this work. So we can use this thing, which is labeled brick wall. It shouldn't be. It should be labeled fence. And we will duplicate that. Move it over. Oh yeah, I did it with 2 splines. Let's put that there. Move it over again. Bring this up. I'm not really somebody that has any jurisdiction on sort of rating Steam pages. I think if you want to talk to anybody, it's probably Chris. Chris Wazowski? Not Chris Wazowski. Chris. There's How to Market a Game. Chris Zukowski. He's excellent. It gives you all the advice you need to know how to make a good Steam page. Highly recommend checking his content out. It's just howtomarketagame.com. Because any advice I give would be any advice that I've taken from him. So, highly recommend checking his stuff out. Now, do I make this fence? Fence? Like a green? Green would make sense. I think I've used green. I think it'd be a wall, though. This is too rural. That's... I don't think it'd be barriers either. I want an actual fence. I think a wall is needed at the back here. I think it needs to be a tall one too. I think a white one makes sense. Do I have a white one? I do have a white one. Yeah, because that. Yeah, I think that makes sense. I really screwed up by making those the wrong angle. Okay. Spring. I want to know whether or not I should go to college for software engineering or learn it myself for game design. Good question. So I have a media production degree. I went to university planning on making movies, and then kind of just accidentally made games. And the nature at which I make games is the same sort of nature I applied to when I was doing filmmaking, which was just kind of make stuff. But, you know, a classic era of go to university because that's what you're told to do. So I think it depends on the job you want. Like, if you want to be a programmer proper, then certain jobs are going to want you to have a CS degree or equivalent. I've never had that be a constraint for anything I've applied for because I've made and programmed and like built and shipped a few video games, right? So if you can do it yourself, there's a lot of resources online for that. It's easier than ever to make video games on your own and start learning and stuff. But it also depends the kind of discipline that you are, right? Like, there is something to be said about that kind of environment, teaching you how to work on your own effectively, etc., etc. So actually, I'm gonna delete that and just keep this straight. I'll put another fence up in a minute. I think we'll just use another building as the other wall here. So it is purely based off of you, and I can't really give you that advice. All I can say is what worked for me, and I enjoyed my time at university. I made some really strong contacts, but you know, my degree is in media production. I have an arts degree, so however, a lot of the skills that I picked up are pretty cross-transferable, and I've sort of, you know, these videos and this YouTube channel comes from, and getting my job at Unity, probably working on the tutorial content, like came from a lot of things that I used with the resources I had at university, because a lot of the stuff I did was due to the access of talent and I guess facilities that existed at the university I went to. But again, my experience is so unlike most people's that it is very hard to give any recommendations or advice there. Generally, I try not to give much advice, but I will say you don't need a degree to get a job in the games industry. You just have to have shown that you can make video games. I know a lot of people that work in this industry that have all sorts of degrees, so or not. So it's really personal preference on that one. Unfortunately, we're not in an era where having a degree gets your job in the door, but it definitely opens, or gets you through a door, but it definitely opens some doors, right? And I think that's the best way to look at it. I hope that helps. Sorry, I can't give a more firm answer, but it's really going to be up to you. Hi, Speed Inc. Welcome. What do I think is better? Should I create the entire scenario in Blender, or should I do all the procedural parts? I'm creating a game, but my Blender started to... Yeah, what is it? You know, that's going to depend on what your game is. I have opted to do mine procedurally. And actually, I kind of do it based off of what makes sense. So I have a Blender scene with all my different props and things and different pieces, but I wanted to build all my buildings more procedurally so they can be more unique. And so that's what some of these tools are. You'll see a little bit later if you haven't seen already. But, you know, it is, like I say every time on the channel, a lot of things are highly contextual depending on the demands of the project that you're trying to make, right? So, you know, there's arguments often for like a base block out mesh type thing being done in one or the other. I think when I first started doing this first block out scene that I have was entirely, it is all just Unity, right? It's just Pro Builder, because I needed to get the shapes and ideas down. And then I started moving some things into Blender to, to be a bit more bespoke. So, but you know, I think if I was making a game that was, I don't know, like interiors and things, then I'd probably do most of it in Blender or some 3D software. It just depends how flexible you need to be, right? Like, I like having the like functionality that I can go in here and make changes inside of Unity to a lot of my structures. But like, if I want to change this building, this is entirely built in Blender, and like, so I'd have to open it and work with it in Blender. And so there's like pros and cons to that, right? Like, I get more interesting shapes and designs in Blender, but I don't have that flexibility to work with it in the engine. So you kind of just have to make those calls as you're working. And I mean, the project will dictate that stuff to you, because if you're doing it in Blender and it's taking you forever and it doesn't work, you know, and you like get fed up making changes and stuff, that's a pretty good sign that you should probably be doing things procedurally, and vice versa. If you're doing things procedurally and it's taking you forever and you never really get anything that you like the look of, then you probably need to be a bit more bespoke and hands-on with it in Blender, right? So that's kind of the calls that I like to make. Hello from Vietnam. Wow. This is crazy. It's so weird to think that so many of you watch from all over the world, especially because most of my highest, you know, which makes sense because English, right? But like, most of my viewers are, my analytics show sort of, you know, USA, Germany, and England, like English speaking, and then closer European countries. But it's wild to think that I'm reaching certain other demographic too, and it's cool. It'll be cool to see some games from you guys if you're making games too. Like, that's really great. Oh, you're cool too, I'm sure. Thank you though. Okay, right, let's get a building in, so we have a second edge here. I think what I want to do is have like, I would have a building, and then I think I'd put another fence. I'd put another fence down here, like one of the green ones. I think that would look quite cool. So, how does C++ works in Unity? I don't know. I think that question is how does C++ work in Unity behind the scenes, and how does it interact with C# under the hood? I don't know. I worked at Unity as an online trainer. I don't actually have any experience of working with the engine. I will have a video coming out sometime in the next couple of weeks though, because of a cool thing that I've been able to do to get some access to some of the engine code. But it's all C# stuff. So under the hood, yeah, it is all C++. And I think that's what the IL2 CPP is when you're exporting the game, and it's compiling things to C++. So you need somebody a lot smarter than me to answer that question, I'm afraid. Are the generated road and building meshes serialized in the scene or saved as an asset? So right now, they are generated at runtime. So when I do this and I turn them on, it is using some data saved in the tool, which is why it takes a second to turn everything on, and just like builds all the meshes procedurally. When I'm finished with the game, I will save all of the generated assets. I'll bake them into actual assets in the scene, because that'll be far, far more efficient, and it'll mean the scene will load a lot faster. But for flexibility while I'm developing the game, I choose to keep it all as dynamic. Probably what I'll do is I'll write an exporter that can keep them somewhat interlinked, so it's non-destructive, right? Just in case. So if I hit like lock and bake, it'll just bake and replace it, but it'll keep all the original data that I set. But that's for another day. Hello, didn't know you streamed. Neither did I. I've started it. I'm trying something. I wanna be more around this year. I'm hoping. I really want to work on cabs in my spare time, but I realize that it takes away from me working on channel videos, and so I figured this might be a little bit of the best of both worlds. Like, I've got a plan. I think if you were looking at the community posts, I've got a few videos lined up that I'm going to be doing based off of the votes that you guys gave. The first of which was the replay video that I did at the end of last year. But yeah, I really, really want to get the level design done for this project, and I figured it would be cool to just hang out every now and then on stream, so you guys have something to watch and maybe learn something, because this project is wild and I'm doing all sorts of weird things. So hopefully it's valuable to people, and I figure, you know, it's a stream, so you don't have to watch it if you don't want to. But yeah, I figured it could be nice to to do that. So hold on, I just realized that my music is playing, and let me know if the music's too loud, by the way. I think it should be fine, but I can turn it down if need be. I think my streaming will take off. I hope so. That would be nice. We'll see. I'm trying to find a good time to stream. I think this feels like a good time. I think I can make this work. Sort of evenings times here. We'll see. Last one I did was a sort of Sunday afternoon, I think, or a Saturday afternoon. Right. Yes, I was built. Okay. I'm gonna keep asking questions. I'll answer them in a minute. I'm actually gonna get some work done. Right. Should we copy that one? No, I want like a brick. Let's just do like a gray one. Do I have another building lying around that I can start from? Ah, that one will do. Yeah, okay, let's start from this one. Let's duplicate this. Bring it. This is the one thing I hate about the hierarchy workflow in Unity, is like to get something out of the hierarchy, you have to like drag it up, take it out of the wherever you, there's no quick way to like parent. That would be a good tool to have. I should make that. I'm not going to do that right now. That would be an incredibly useful shortcut, is to select something else, and like reparent something. The more I say that, the more I'm like, we should just make that right now. But I don't want to. I'm getting distracted. I'm not going to do that. I might do that. I'm not going to do that. Okay, it's upper middle. Where's upper middle? It's down here. Okay, right, we're in upper middle now. That's the biggest problem with game dev, is you get distracted and write tools, and then you spend more time making tools than you do making the game that you're trying to make. Okay. I don't want the balconies. So this is going to be, I've got a video that I recorded yesterday actually, that is something a little different. Again, I'm going to try something different. I feel like I kind of abandoned the channel a little bit last year because we were working so hard on Generation Exile, and I wanted to get some of this stuff done. So I'm trying to reorganize the way that I do things to get more content out on the channel. So we'll see if the format of the video that I made yesterday works well. I should be able to make videos a little bit more easily. There's also something else I'm working on that the next video on this channel that isn't a stream will be a good test for, to see how it's received. If it isn't received very well, it's not going to be super telling, but we will see. I can't really say more than that yet, but it's a cool video. I think it'll be very useful to know how to do. Okay. Let's bring this. I want this to jut out a little bit, I think. I don't like the balconies. I'm gonna get rid of the balconies, but I do like the shape of that. Yeah, I quite like the singular angled piece. And then, yeah, that works. Okay, so I kind of want all of the bottom to just be how it is. Okay. By the way, I am drinking a Dawn Pilsner that my friend left here from our New Year's Eve gig. We had a little get together on New Year's Eve, and this is delicious. I've never had it before, and I am now a convert for this. I am a big fan. It's a very light, tasty beer. It's a good time for Australia. That's a good point. It is a good time for Australia. It is almost 9 p.m. Yeah, for me too. Like West Coast time, I want to try a few things out. I will try a few different times out to see which makes sense for people. This obviously makes the most sense for me because evening streams mean that I can probably do it more often on weekdays after work if I'm not completely exhausted from making a video game all day and then coming back and trying to do more video game dev, but we'll see. The level design phase of this makes it a little bit easier to, well, that's not true actually. The whole project is a lot easier than working on a complex management game, which is part of what I said when I first announced this. But I also don't want this to be like 7 years of development. So, walls. I want to take the door balconies off. So that's this one. I think just Wallow 4 window. So yeah, I will be showing how to make this tool. You know, the one thing I did want to do this stream was, I don't know if I will do it or not, but I want to add a feature to my building tool that actually lets me drag the height, like the number of stories up and down. Let me know if you want to see me make that now, because let's turn off the doors, because I could, and I want to turn off all the windows on the bottom floor. Distribution base 0, and then let's set 100% distribution, but 2 at a time. Separate. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that looks nice. There you go. It doesn't need to do much. What I use to design Blender. Everything all my art is Blender. I have a shader that I wrote, and it is just a sort of master shader. If you watched my SRP video, that is basically the shader that I'm talking about in that video. And I wrote a bunch of stuff. This is a sort of mildly hacked version of the universal render pipeline, so that I can do some. I have a custom pass that I do. I have a few different passes. I haven't got some stuff turned on because it's pointless while I'm working on the game, but I have a bloom pass that I was working on, and yeah, so it's just universal render pipeline and some custom shaders that I've written through a lot of trial and error, because writing shaders is a pain. And yeah, master shader, how bold. It's lazy, that's what it is. It means I don't have to maintain like 10 different types of shaders. I think I have 2. The cool thing about the HLSL stuff is that you can write like shader libraries and have a shader pull, which I think you could kind of do before anyway, but I really like the way that they've changed the shaders up to HLSL rather than their weird like MATLAB or whatever they called it. I'm a fan of the new shader. Plus, it's really easy to find HLSL code online compared to like Shader Lab stuff was difficult, let's just say, to figure out how to do. Whereas HLSL is like, there's tons of GSL, I think. You can pretty much figure out how to turn that into an HLSL shader just using Microsoft documentation. So, do you have a stream schedule planned, or are you just playing by ear? Right now, I'm playing by ear. I know it would probably be more valuable to do stream schedules. A little hard, just given the lifestyle. My life is kind of a little bit messy. No, it's just going to be totally dependent. So I'm probably going to, if this works, which, you know, there's a good number of you watching right now, then I will probably I'll probably stick to a 9 o'clock type thing, because I think it's a good time that works well for me, but I don't know how frequently. Probably either a specific night on a weeknight, if I can make that work, and then on a weekend one night. But, you know, some days I'm just tired, so I can't promise anything. Like, I am working on a video game. I'm working on 2 games, right? Like, I'm working on this, and then we're working on Generation Exile, and we're getting ready for a early access launch at some point this year. So it's pretty exhausting. Okay, so I need to find this. Another thing, I might message somebody at Unity, because I know some of the Spline team have seen my work. I wish you could click on objects that are instanced in a spline and select the spline that way. You can't. It's really annoying. I just wish you could. Okay, well, I've got the complete wrong section there. I want the upper middle. Let's duplicate this. And then pop that along there. I think I have some like low green. There's probably a lot more work that I'm doing than I probably should at this point. Like I have so much left to do. This is such a massive map. I wanted 5 maps for this game. I want 5. I might end up shipping with 1. This is gonna take forever. Oh man. I wish we could have games without art. That would be great. I don't wish that. I hate it. I hate how long it takes. No, I enjoy this process a lot. I just realized the monumental task that I've set myself up for. But it is fun. I really am enjoying making assets and doing some level design, and I don't know. It's the kind of video games that I like to play, is, you know, like The Sims and Roller Coaster Tycoon, and so it's really just channeling a lot of that stuff. Instead of building a nice theme park, I'm just building piece by piece a made up city. Okay. Fence. Of course they're the wrong way around. See, that one I want, I think, along. I want the 01. I think I have a green one. I do. There we go. All right. Oh, wait. No, that's 01. That's the one that will fall to pieces if you hit it. I don't have a green version? Damn. We should make a green version. Okay, that I will do. So firstly, let's just get these in place. And then I'll make a green one, because I really want that to be green. I don't know why. I think it's since I've played Yakuza and all the parking lot fences are green. I guess that's a Japanese thing. I don't know. I think they look cool. That works. I'll put a little metal something over that. I think my screen, my nighttime thing, I don't know how to get it up. There's like a night light. Yeah, there we go. Let's turn that off, because I think that would have been coming through. Okay. Green. Right. Let's go to Blender. I have 3 versions of Blender installed right now. I think it's env test. Yeah, it is env test. Okay. Why didn't I make a green one? That seems silly. All right. Well, let's duplicate that then. That can be fence 02 CDE. And then make it green. Are they selected? They look like they're selected. Yeah. Okay. Okay. We have proportional editing on the UV texture. Cool. Let's go with that. I'm just going to keep these all in one spot instead. Is that too bright? It's pretty bright. That's a pretty aggressively bright green. That's still quite bright. Okay. Bye, Super Trooper. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you watching. Why isn't that working? What are these colors? Oh, I've gone down there. Okay. That was how I did that. Okay, that kind of makes sense. Okay, so we kind of want it to be like this. Is that right? Yeah, that's better. Which one is... Ah, okay. Yeah, that's better. Okay. And then, where's the export button? It is here. Boop. See about that. We now have to go edit this. O2D, duplicate that. DE, double click on it. Change this to be oh, that's not going to work that way, is it? Yeah, that's annoying. Oh my god, I have to open up my theme. Okay. I need to write a better importing process for this. I shouldn't have to go to the gallery every single time just to get a new one in here. I didn't really set these up as variants as well as I should have done. Yeah. Okay. I guess it's fine to just like duplicate that, make that fence E. And then I think I can just drag that in. That'll sort itself out, and then just go original instead. Yeah. Okay, one bit down. Cheers. O2E. Okay, there we go. All right, we have it now. Back to the downtown map. we will grab, see, I can't select it because it doesn't exist as an object. Upper middle, and go down here, and I think it's fence 02. Yeah. And that can be the new one we just made. There we go. Now we have a green fence. It kind of doesn't make any sense, but I'm not going to worry about it. It's fine. And then we want the curb. I quite like the idea that there was a curb. Is curb spelled with a K? I'm pretty sure curb is spelled with a K. No, well, it's kind of C-U. That curb. Is that how you spell curb? Google is telling me that curb is British English. Okay. Because like curb would be, yeah, I don't know. Curb is like to go around something, whereas curb with an E and a K is the object on the road, but US English has just made those the same word. So, okay. I'm not completely inept. I'm keeping it as curb. I'm sticking. I know I live in Canada now and I'm technically a Canadian citizen, but I'm sticking to some of my British roots. Right. So, how would this... All right, chat, you get to decide. A car's going to enter from this side and here on the left, or are they going to enter from the right? Where do we put the bounds of the curb? I did write curb in American English though when I made the prop, so who knows what I'm on? I guess I'm bilingual. Hey, look at that. I think it would just be this color. It really would. Would it be separated? That's the question. Oh, we don't want it over there. Oh, actually, that would look great. That would be like the little parking spots. Oh, yay. Okay. We're gonna make that work that way. We're gonna have like one version that is just the edge. I don't know, 2.8? That probably works. I guess players could go in here if they wanted to. I kind of don't want to. I don't really want to let them. I don't know. There's probably no reason why not. There we go. Okay. We're gonna go with the left. I'm gonna keep this consistent and right curve. All right, I'll conform. That's probably fine. And then we'll put some decals in for parking spaces later. I don't want to do that right now. Players always find a way to get in places they shouldn't. Well, yeah, I mean, that's... Yeah, they do. Part of this is, yeah, figuring out... I will no doubt have to create colliders that stop entry into certain sections. Like, because there are physics in this game, and there are multiple levels that you could be at, and you can jump through things. So I know this game is going to be made and broken by how much we playtest it. One of the other reasons I'm streaming this, excuse me, is so that eventually we can play this on stream, and you guys can help me play test the game, because I think that would be cool. Is that fine? Like, that's probably fine for now. I can put stuff in it later. I'm not too worried about... Do I have a parking meter? I do. But I haven't made it into a prefab yet. Oh, interesting. Is that because it's an old one? Yeah. Okay. I'd want something a bit more... Oh, I could put a parking sign. That's cute. Oh, I've got a bunch of assets just sitting here. They should go in there. No, not in the building. In the folder there. Okay. Sure. I definitely have a... sign. That would make sense in this context. There would be some kind of like sign there. There'd probably be information or something on it. So I'm gonna put that there. I'll give it actual assets later. That's good enough for now. All right, I think we can move on. I think this will be fine. We might just put a barrier in. I have an automatic barrier that, like, putting two of these back to back would look kind of cool, I think. Again, at this point, I'm not super worried about like the micro details, but you know, I want to at least kind of logically make sense as to what is going on. And this would probably actually go over here and like face this way. Let's do that. I think that would look cool. Yeah, I can just have some add on it or something. I don't know. Face that way. There'd be one in there as well, but yeah, I think that works. That's cool. I kind of want them to be yellow. I don't think I have any other colors for them yet. I'll recolor those some other time though. Yeah, I've just got like the plastic barrier things. Okay, that'll be fine. Okay, red ones are fine for now. I'm okay with that. All right, hooray. We are nearly finished with the alley. That's sick. Okay, so we just need something to go here. Is this... What was this? It was just a really big building, huh? Okay. That's fine. This point, it changes to the middle right. Okay. So that's going to be the middle right section. Okay. I want to finish the alley. I don't want to start work on the middle right section yet, but I want to finish the alley. And then I want to finish this section. Because, like, we're nearly done, right? Like, this whole top area is in a really good sort of visual state. So I want to do that building and then this one. So let's get this building done. So we can just have like the really long boy. I made some new textures recently for these. I quite like this building, but putting it so close might be a bit strange. What else have we got? Yeah, we're using a lot of brick. Oh, that might work. Yeah, we haven't got that one yet. Okay, that works. We'll bring this guy over here and then move that into the upper right section. Huh. Oh, that is all upper right stuff. Oh. Then this is middle right. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense because there's nothing in there yet. Okay, well now there is. Congratulations. You're the first building on the middle right. So I think we want to be shallower, but quite tall. This is probably locked. It's not. Don't think we want that distribution. And yeah, I think we want even distribution, but we don't want a lot on the base. And I think we want slightly less base stories, which means we want one less material here. There we go. Yeah, and then we have another building that's kind of just sticking in a little bit more. Alternatively, this building... How do I want this to work? So, you're coming down here. You lead. Do we want that to be pulled back a little bit? Yeah, yeah. A little bit of leeway there. And this mesh tool has been incredibly resilient to a lot of the things I've been trying to make it do. I'm honestly surprised it. I mean, it breaks pretty regularly, like you can see, but it breaks a lot less often than I thought it would. Okay. Yeah, that works. Maybe we go... Maybe we make this 2 buildings. Hear me out. So why don't we... Because if you're looking at it this way, and that's against that background. What if... What if this is the back? Do I want to do it like this? Yeah. This can be the back of the building, and then we can duplicate it and bring it forward. Maybe extend it a little bit. Like that. And give it like a bunch more stories. Yeah, that looks way better. Yeah, okay. The thing I'm always trying to do, because then I can give this less, it is like make the general silhouettes across the skyline look interesting enough. Starting to ease into 3D in Unity for a 2D scene. Yeah, 3D is both a blessing and a curse. It is hard to make things look good. I think it is objectively easier to make things look good in 2D than in 3D. You have a lot more. Oops. Okay, don't mess with that. Oh no, I just messed with it, and oh Jesus. Oh dear, oh no, I really messed this up. Well. Oh boy. Why, how? What did I do? How did that just get so messed up? Oh no. What is... My road tools aren't appearing. Is that because I don't have gizmos turned on? It's because I don't have gizmos turned on. Why didn't I have gizmos turned on? What the heck? Alright. Why did they all get reset? That's weird. Okay, well, let's straighten these out. And... yeah, okay, that's that edge, which is 20. That's that edge. Oh, 18. Okay. I will fix this tool eventually. One of the things about game dev is sometimes you just deal with what you have. This is one of those times. Okay, that's also that side. So the other blue one. Is this one. Which is that side, which is 30. And then straighten it out. There we go. Fixed it. Okay. I guess the data wasn't there properly, so it was just kind of guessing. There we go. Okay. Ooh, crisis averted. Okay, every single gizmo that exists is now on. Which, alright, I guess. Great. Huh. I'll turn those back on when I want them. Unity is definitely a love-hate relationship. Yeah, you can say that again. Best take of the night, right there. I don't know. Yeah. I mentioned this in one of my videos. I tried using Unreal. I've used it a few times now. I just don't get on with it. I think if I was less programmer minded and less tools minded, I think I would love it, because I think the visual scripting stuff is neat. But all the time I want to like make it my own. And as soon as you want to do that with Unreal, ooh, you're in for a world of pain, because I hope you have 5 hours to spare anytime you write one line of code, because you need it. So the grass is sometimes greener on this side of the space. Okay, this is good. Okay, yeah, we have, you know, we have an alley, which we didn't really have before. So that's pretty great. Yeah, I mean, I think if you are visual scripting, Unreal is very designer friendly and very good at like rapidly doing things if you just want to work in the way that Unreal wants you to work, right? So if you're making that kind of game, I can see it. But you have to have a lot of patience to start editing the Unreal like engine itself, the interface and stuff, and it's I don't have time. I just want to make games. Okay, I'm getting errors because I don't have Fmod installed on this machine. I really need to fix that next time I stream. This is running okay. Alright, yeah, this looks alright. And the sign has fallen over, that's fine. There's no collision on the curbs yet. I really need to fix how they spin. The physics on the barriers when you break them aren't great. They all spin really weirdly. I don't know. I could do some work on that, but not important right now. But this will work. This will work as your shortcut, I think. Yeah, you can like dodge through here. And if you know where you're going, you can go this way, and you're gonna get stuck there. I might make that. I was thinking about this earlier. I'm gonna make that gap. It's a little too. Like, I want those alley sections to be a little bit harder to navigate. What programming language are you using? C#? Yes, I am. I think that's all that you can do in Unity now. I don't think they support any other language anymore. Maybe they do for like legacy reasons. Pretty sure Unity is purely C# now. I love it. I love C# so much. Like if I ever write my own programs or anything, like it's always going to be in C#. It's just such a great language. Because there's so much stuff you don't have to worry about. Attributes and reflection are amazing. Big fan. Like I could spend days gushing over my love for C#. So I'm looking forward to Unity integrating it, like later, newer versions of it, because there's some cool features in a lot of the new versions of C#. I really like these moments where it comes together and you get like something in the background here. It's starting very slowly to look like a real sort of space. And it doesn't have to look that real, it just has to be believable enough that you're like, yeah, this could be a city. Are you going to telegraph the alley section so it's not a dead end, or will people have to learn? That is a great question. I think what I'm gonna do is something that, let me see if I can find the pictures for it. I think they're called smashes. So in Burnout Paradise, let's see if I can find an image that isn't like tiny. They all look tiny. Okay, this might. Is that right? Yeah, that'll do. Okay. So in Burnout Paradise, these, like, all of the shortcuts and stuff was signified with these yellow, like, smashable sign things. And so I think something like that. I think they called them smash gates or something. I'll have an asset that exists that is in all of these the first time you go through them, I think, and that will like signpost that it's kind of a shortcut, right? Because I want to reward that level of exploration. Part of it though is that the AI will use them, so I can't say AI anymore. The bots that I write for the game will use them. I can't really use bots anymore either. The opponents that are computer controlled will that are controlled by an algorithm that I write that's very simple and absolutely not intelligent whatsoever. The dumb intelligence, not NPC. We need to come up with a new term. Like, AI has been ruined. The term AI has just been fully ruined. So we now need to come up with a new term for artificial intelligence that is programmer writes that just means like logic for the opponents or NPCs in a game. It's been tainted by Silicon Valley. And it's really infuriating because I'm proud of the very simple code that I wrote to get my non-human controlled players to move around the map. But if I call it AI, that has so many connotations that now mean people might hate my video game. So, state-controlled character, yeah. Dumb agent. I think that might be it, right? Like, agent. I like agent. I think agent is probably a good term because they are agents, I guess. Yeah, we're so cooked in that sense. Right. Okay. Anyway, back to game dev. Right. So we've done that spot, and it's drivable. It looks nice. This is kind of the last little section, and then I think we're golden. So I might just ape this building. I quite like that, although it's there too. So no, that's too close. That's the really good thing is now I have enough. I have enough that I've already made that are all really similar, but like far enough apart. Oh, that black one could work. Yeah, let's try that. I think that one will work. But I can kind of just copy and paste them at this point now. So things are getting a little bit faster because I have a lot of the styles out. However, I do have to rethink things a little bit soon. Because I want the visuals to change, like the further this way you go. I mean, even if we go over this end, it's a little bit different. I think like I'm gonna do more. I really like what I did here with the stairway. I think I'm gonna have more of these sort of buildings that are more like apartment looking. Yeah, and like some more green space in front of all the buildings and stuff. And this actually turned out quite nice. I haven't looked at this side of the map. I did this a long time ago. So this specific section is supposed to be a bit more commercial, you know, industrial. But But I'm going to have to be a bit more creative, I think, the further I get to the center. Oh, this one's locked. Okay, let's unlock that one. Okay. I keep forgetting to lock the ones that I'm finished with. Okay. Yeah, that works. That's great. All right. It's really nice when you put all this work in up front to make tools, and then you kind of just smooth sail. Like, there's still some stuff I want to do, but imagine making all these. Like, if I had to do this all in Blender and like make them all, it would take forever. I can't get a good straight element there. I wonder if I can just move these both. Not really. That's fine. I think that's okay. Alright. Okay, well, considering we've got to this point, I think I can build my little... That looks nice, actually. That works really well. That's actually like a good contrast. Like the height of it, too. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, I didn't realize that these guys, this like drops down significantly. That sucks. Because up here, oh, it's not flat. That's annoying. All right, I'll just make something to. I'll worry about that later. It doesn't matter. It's fine. Nobody's gonna know. Your camera's like here most of the time anyway, so you're not really gonna know. Okay. All right, let's do some coding and build the tool that'll let me grab that guy. I'm going to turn the gizmos back on, but I'm going to turn off most of them. I don't actually know. I was always under the... I always thought that gizmo, that's weird. Okay, well, fine. I guess just the spline. Maybe I just had them turned off before? Like the spline gizmos? I want the spline polybuilder one. Spline container. Yeah, okay. I thought these were all on draw gizmos selected, which is weird. I think this might be a bug in this version. Because... well, no, because if I select... oh. This wasn't happening earlier. What's going on? Okay. Okay. No, I'm right. Okay, yeah. No, this is fine. I just had stuff drawing. Like, what is drawing those? Is that just the building mesh one? Do I have... Oh, okay. Huh. That must have been something I have in Building Maker that is on Draw Gizmos plural, not on selected. But that's fine. Okay, we need to work in here anyway. I don't want all the Cinemachine. Thankfully, I don't have Cinemachine, but I was surprised that so many... Basically, I was just surprised that so many of those gizmos were on and being drawn, but it turns out it's my fault. What I want to do, for those who weren't here at the start, is add a little control for my building tool that just lets me drag the building up and down. Rather than having to go in and like edit the number of stories, I just want to put it up and down because I think that would be great. Do I have an editor script in here? I feel like this has an editor script. This must do. I have on-draw gizmos. That should be on-draw gizmos selected. Okay, that explains it. I do have an editor, there we go, okay. I have forgotten where handles go. On scene GUI in the editor. Okay. Don't have an on scene GUI. Okay. So we kind of just want a handle. Let's how do we want to do this? A marker in the center, I think, that draws a line from the base to its current level that you can drag up would probably be the best thing. So let's try that. But we have to get the center of the spline, not the object. So and I don't know if I currently can. Oh, it's private. Okay. That should work. b dot spline is null. And don't do anything. Otherwise, center. Actually, do I have the center already? I guess I have all the points. I could probably just reflect the center that way. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, I have points, so I can just get the center from the points. I don't need the spline. Center. Oh, I realize the code is all of the... Okay, we need to make a new scene for when I'm coding, because all the chat is like right where I'm writing code, so that's not great. Okay, let's duplicate for when I'm coding, and just move the chat box over here. It's okay, we are the code. I mean, yeah. I don't know about being a game dev channel and that code. That's great. Okay, right. We now have two layouts. There we go. Okay, so that can just put into coding mode. That works. Okay, that's better. You don't. If it's on the right, that's usually my reference. I'm usually writing over here, and then in general, if we're up here, that's just gonna be black space. So that works. Okay, good, good, good. We have two layouts now. You can officially say in the comments in the future that you were there for the moment that I created the coding version of the layout. Can we do... average? That's... I am going to write an extension method for this because I do it so much. That's... excuse me. Okay. Public static list vector 3 get center this list vector 3 values. Oops, no, we return a vector 3, not a list. I'll zoom the code in a little bit. And then vector 3 total equals 3. For each vector 3p in values total equals. I could do bounds and like expand the bounds by max, but we don't really need a bounds. I think this will be fine. And then we just do total divided by values. And then just return. I mean, we could actually just return. Let's do that. And if values.count equals 0, so we're not trying to divide by 0. We just return total. There we go. Okay. So now we should be able to we just get whatever we want. So that center should equal b dot center. And then let's draw a gizmo. Let's draw handles. Dot cube circle. I want it to be a circle on the ground, and then a line coming up, and then an arrow. A little cylinder cap that you can drag up and down. So it's like an actual arrow. I think that would look sick. Okay. So circle handle cap. In the center. What is the quaternion for up? Like, I want to do vector 3 dot up, but that's... what axis would that be? I was here. I was game dev guide for the code layout. Well played. Well played. Right. Let's. Ah. Okay. So vector 3 dot forward and then vector 3 dot up. I don't know if that'll work. I don't think that'll face the way that I want it to. Let's just, I don't know, let's just make like 5 or something. And then event type dot repaint. Let's see. Let's see if that actually does anything. Doesn't look like it does. That did not draw. Why didn't that draw? Is this an edit? Yeah. Quaternion Euler vector 3 dot up. Well, vector 3 dot up is just 1. And so Euler angle, Euler of 1 would just be 1 degree. Because I think that's how that, so it would have to be 90. I think it would be vector 3 dot up times 90 or something. I don't know. I'm not fully sure how that works yet. We'll find out in a second. Now, is this not drawing? Hold on. Let's make sure that this is actually being... I also might not have saved it. Oh, it's gonna be the center relative to the right. I know what the problem is. So we have to do handles dot matrix equals b dot transform dot matrix world local to world, I think. Nope. I just don't think that's working. Why? I'm getting an error. Oh. Center. Did I not save this? No, I didn't save that. That'll do it. Hey, there we go. It is not facing the direction we want, but it is working. Okay. So, what happens if we do up and forward? Is that just going to flip it the other way around? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it just flips it the other way around. Hey, there we go. I had a feeling that would work. Okay, great. Now I don't need it to be that big. What are the other... Rectangle, rotation, scale, slider, snap. Okay, that's fine. Let's go 3F maybe, and then let's do handles dot line. Draw a line. We should thicken the line up too. We'll do that in a minute. Handles dot draw line. Oh, we need the okay, vector 3 height equals center plus so it's segment height multiplied by stories. Oh, b dot stories. No, it's center multiplied by no, it's plus vector 3. Okay, so it's new vector 3. That. In fact, we may as well just do it properly. It's probably cheaper to do it that way. So then we draw a line from the center up to our height. And then at our height, we have a cone handle cap that is at our height and probably the same or the inverse. We might need to do negative forward so it's pointing up. Vector 3 dot down. I don't know. We'll see. And then size. I'll also go 3F and then do event type dot repaint. Hey, look at that. Oh, that worked like a charm. That is massive. That does not need to be that big. But that will work. So it needs to be a free move handle. But that means all of these guys now. Yeah, the only problem is because it's in the center, it's going to get in the way. So you just have to like zoom in to like do it, but I think that's fine. So this circle could be smaller. That arrow I think is fine. We should make it smaller though, a little bit smaller. And it actually needs to be a free move handle. I've done this already. What are my tools? My road builder tool lets me do all this stuff. So why repeat myself when I've already written all this code? It's not called that, is it? is it? Oh, yes, it is. There you go. So it's a handles.freeMove handle. Okay. Position, height, size 2f, snap, vector 3 dot, no, it's just b dot, oh, okay, vector 3, 0, b dot segment height, 0, and then handles dot cone handle count. Should be that instead of that. And we're not going to get anything, but that should give us a height, which we can then reverse engineer to figure out how many stories that now means. Yeah, it is a Crazy Taxi kind of game. It's called Cabs of Chaos. It's loosely, the best way to explain this is loosely a competitive rideshare racing game in the style of a Saturday morning cartoon. So it is. Oh, did I? Oh, it's just facing. Do I not get to? Hold on. There we go. That goes there. Oh, that's obsolete. Okay, why? Oh, there's a control ID. Okay. There you go. Are you happy now? No, it doesn't like that one either. Turnian, and then size, and then snap. Rotation parameter is obsolete. Why? Why? Why is the rotation parameter obsolete? That's terrible. Okay. So we need to make a all right, we need to make this clickable then. It doesn't return. Pass this into, yeah. I wonder if I can do it. Oh, you know what? I wonder. Oh, my light just went out. Joy. Hold on. Let's see if I can turn it down enough. Otherwise, we might just have to live without somewhat of a backlight there. I think it's fine. I don't know how long this guy's going to go for. Alright. A little bit. I need some slightly better USB cables to charge these things. fine. They'll charge up. May just have to stay in the dark. It'll be okay. I have this light. Let me just move this guy over instead. And he can light me. We should get a little bit more cozy, you know? We should get a little bit more cozy instead. Emergency, I do have a sort of actual plug-in ring light, but I don't like that one as much. I need one that, I need a USB cable that can like keep these guys going fast enough. Anyway, after that, mild diversion. Quaternion, and then, okay, so I think what I can actually do is do free move handle, and then instead of just writing like generic cone handle cap, I think I can do this. Can I make it a delegate? Maybe not. Oh, we don't need the other bit now. Jordan, pass this into handle functions. Draw cone handle cap. How do you... How do I make that work? Let's look at how cap functions work. Your light went out. My Unity crashed. Maybe it's go to sleep time. Yeah. Not yet. I got a little bit of time, I think, in me still. I haven't finished my beer yet, although it's getting empty. I might get another one. I really like these. And I see someone popular use Visual Studio Community. Yeah, Rider is not cheap, and Visual Studio is, I mean, for all intents and purposes, free. So I don't know. Thank you, Unity Docs. You are very informative. Maybe free move handle will tell me something. I don't. Okay. It really bothers me that all the examples of this uses the quaternion like rotation. And well, this one doesn't. I'm looking at some 2017.31. Well, I would love for that to not be the case. I hate that we get stuck on random stuff like this. Maybe they've got an example with the cube handle, cone handle cap. No, not really. Alright. I don't really want to be here forever. This can't be that interesting to watch. Let's... I'm annoyed I can't just like make it a delegate. How many arguments does it take? Does not take. Well, how many does it take? I wish this was smart enough to figure out. I want the handle to look up. How do I? This is infuriating. Classic Unity. Deprecate something and then don't create a replacement for it. Okay, what is this doing? Can I actually like reach that? Okay. Okay. So there's five things. So if I do A, B, C, D, E, Does that let me do it? Oh, it does. This feels too suspiciously not accurate. No. I want some high fives in chat if this works. It did not. It's okay, you can write L. I guess that makes sense. L's. No W's. That's annoying. What was the API change specifically? Why wouldn't that work though? That's... like, it was asking for a function. I gave it the function that it wanted. Just in my own way. Yeah, I'll figure this out. Oh, it worked, but it's over there now. I mean, close enough? Yeah. I guess. That's so stupid. Okay. So the matrix doesn't apply. Progress. Yeah. I wonder if I have to like rewrite that here. You know? Right. I'll just make that AB. That feel, if this works, this is super hacky, and I hate Unity for it. Because it makes literally no sense. But we might be able to put the actual position in ourselves. Okay, sure. Why not? Oh, it's so stupid. That's unbelievably stupid. That is like insanely dumb. But sure, why not? The only problem with this, actually, is that I can't select it because it will just select the mesh. So what we should do is always add an additional story so that it's always sticking out above the mesh. I think that'll work. I mean, the roof will probably screw it up. Yeah. That now should be something I can... No, no. No. Why not? Oh, is it still inside? Oh, that doesn't seem right. Okay, let me just hide these guys for a minute just to see if I can click this. No. Why won't you let me click you? That can be clicked. Can I not do it with arrows? That's frustrating. Alright, well, that would have been nice. I guess. So if I make this free move handle, height, 2F, new vector 3. And then I make this, I know circle handles work. Oh, I wonder if it's because of the snapping. It didn't work before though. Welcome to Matt's throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks stream. Okay, so you can select circles. It was because it was a cone. I mean, that's fine, I guess. That's less fun, but, you know, I guess that's okay. So wait, so if I put it back to the, because I know sphere handles work. I mean, I think I'd rather have a sphere than a cylinder, like a circle there. You just gotta funk around and find out. I like that. Funk around and find out. I like that a lot. That is the epitome of game dev. You're learning stuff about handles. Okay, good. I mean, I was that's kind of my goal with this stream, is that like we're learning things along the way. I sometimes know what I'm doing. You know, the video is probably, I hide my incompetence with a lot of editing and scripted content. But some of you do see through it. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. I think that is an acceptable concession to make that will still make, like, you know, bringing up the building easier. So now that's going to be our position. Equals, and then we have to do position. Wait, no, we've actually got to make. Oh, yeah, okay, so I got to do position equals minus equals all of this stuff. I got to do this in reverse. So we got a minus equals center. I guess we can just do that. And then my brain is broken. What we're trying to get the stories out of this, so we have to. Oh, this is where my maths struggle begins. We need to find this value, so we have to do everything. No, that's right. Because then whatever's left is the additional height, right? So we go float y equals, I don't know, yeah, equals position dot y. That's like the extra amount of segments, and then you divide that by how many stories there are. I think we should do. I don't think this will let me do it until I get it right. I think this will work, because that's like... Let me go int extra stories, stories change. Equals... Oh, but then if it's negative, how will that work? Oh, I know. Nope. I screwed up. What we have to do is we have to take away the center. Then what's left is how many stories there are. So we divide that by stories. By the segment height. And that will tell us. Yeah, okay, so. Can you divide a vector? Wow, alright, we can just be position.y, that's fine. Divided by segment height. That's all we actually need anyway. And then we subtract 1 because we've added an extra story. And then that should tell us how many stories we want. And then we set b.stories to... We need to do a change check as well. So you editor GUI.begin change check. In the handles? All right. I think we do if editor GUI. And then we do b.stories equals stories. Just make that an int. And then do b.generate. I think. Will we get this the first try? Let's find out. Maybe. Oh, well, I mean, all right, we're going up and down, so that's good. It is. Okay, I mean, I don't know. I don't know why we're not seeing it. But the number is right. And we shouldn't let that be 0. Oh, cool. Okay. I don't know why it's invisible. If stories... I think I can just do clamp. Oh, no I can't. Why doesn't that... Why doesn't that become visible when I was moving it? Yeah, I said this earlier. I have used Unreal. I work a lot faster in Unity because I like to make edits and tools. And Unreal does not let you do that without recompiling the engine for like 4 hours. When you write one line of code to change the engine, it just... Oh, it's such a... Unity has its quirks and issues, but it is so much lighter weight than Unreal. Oh, all the materials are missing. That's why. Huh. What does the generate button do? What am I missing? Oh. Oh. Okay, fine. Yeah, I mean, it's also like Unreal is actually a lot harder to make look, to make an aesthetic that isn't Unreal's, right? Like they don't have a concept of shaders in the same way that Unity does. You know, like if I don't want a PBR game, I don't have to have one in Unity. I could write a script or render pipeline to just like go completely down. But like I tried, and I made a video about this, I tried getting cabs and trying to get the look, but I was fighting so much of the engine's aesthetics to do it. Well, look at that. Hey, we now have our little building height. That's great. That's going to make my life a lot easier because I am regularly trying to change the height of buildings. Lovely. Oh, that's a great win. See, we can select this now. And just comfortably like make them the size that we want. Ah, I love that. That's great. Okay. I feel like this could be blue. Let's make it blue. Like last little touch here. Black, that would be fun. All right, and then let's change the handle color back. I don't think you have to do this. I think it resets in every iteration of it, but also it's just a little blue little handle that we can drag up and down. I think we've accomplished a lot. Oh, I realize we're still in the coding view. Sorry about that. I guess I'm switching back and forth. This is fine. You don't need to see the inspector that much. I guess we can swap around depending on the context we're in, but I think we're out of code land now. how do you plan to prevent the procedural bridgings from adding bloat to the final product? Yeah, so I mentioned this earlier. I'll bake them at the end. The procedural nature of it is just for me to develop the level in. You know, like I have procedural tools. I will be baking the entire map when the game, like, when it's ready to ship. I'm keeping it procedural so that as I playtest and make changes, right? Like right now, if I decide I want to make this building slightly smaller or whatever, I can just click it and edit it. Actually, though, generally the cost of procedurally doing this isn't that high. Like it is as long as it takes for me to. So let's turn this off. Okay, click 1, 2, 3. 3 seconds. When you turn the game objects on, they procedurally regenerate, so it's very fast. And that's in the editor, etc. So I'm not worried about it yet. When it becomes a performance issue, that's when it will be dealt with. I'll have to do some work there anyway, because I'll probably need to create LODs and stuff, and occlusion culling logic and stuff. So, whoa, hello! Thank you so much for that donation. That's amazing. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Did the little donation thing play? I don't know if that played. Oh, there we go. I don't know if the stream events. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I'm more just a little bit frustrated that the alert box didn't. Maybe it did, I just didn't hear it. You'll have to let me know if it played the first time. I just triggered it, but it didn't play originally, so. Did it play initially? So did it play twice then? If you've only seen it once, that's because I triggered it, but I get it in my feed, I just didn't see it play in the video thing, but I was looking the other way, so. It played initially. Okay, thank you guys. Thanks. Okay, good to know. Anyway, thank you so much, Chance, for that donation. I really appreciate that. That's very generous of you. You guys are great. So, what do we want to do? I think we'll keep going a little bit longer. We finished this little section. We accomplished a good amount. We've added some updates to the tool. We finished this edge. Did we go over this side? I have to, at some point, whether I do this on stream or not, I'm not sure. It won't be today. But I have to make the next transit station and make that sort of blend with this. But, you know, I've moved things around a little bit. And I'm not sure how I'm going to do that yet. Excuse me, but I guess I guess we could just start going down that way. I mean, we could fill this edge up at least. And I've also kind of got to figure out how that's going to work. Like, I think it'll go here, and then yeah, the station will be that way, and you'll come at it from, you can come at it from two directions. This road may need to move. I don't know if I'll get at it that way. My opinion on Unity 6, how do I feel about it? Good question. Like, it's not that significant. I mean, that's kind of the major thing with a lot of Unity like versions now, is that they're not that different from each other if you're kind of staying up to date with a lot of them. My main, and I've spoken about this in videos, the main thing that benefits me in Unity 6 is the new binding features in UI Toolkit. I really like that because writing custom UI elements now is much, much easier, and binding data to them is much, much easier. And so I upgraded pretty quickly in this project to get those features. I know there's a bunch of stuff with the SRP renderer, but I played around with it, and it needs all of your shaders to use the render graph, which this project doesn't. So I either, when I get to doing optimizations, I will toy around with that because I think those are quite cool features. But because I've got custom render code, I need to make it like come up to date. So yeah, I'm not able to really reap the rewards of a lot of the performance gains that Unity 6 gives you, especially in terms of the universal render pipeline. And then on Generation Exile, we're using the built-in renderer because the game's been in development for multiple years, and so we don't really see any upgrades apart from that UI Toolkit update. So I think I have to do this bit now. I'm at this interesting crossroads now where I'm like trying to figure out where the next point of my attention should be. Like, there are multiple destinations. I think I have the data. If I turn the data on, this usually shows all of the... So, oh yeah, all the pickups still. From the prototype version... all I really want to see are the zones. So yeah, we have like the city hall area that I'll need to build at some point. This is the next station. This is what is the type fits like department store thing. So like, but that I've done most of the areas up and around here in terms of the zones, and expanded quite a lot of them too. So it's really like, what do I fill? This little section I could fill in. That might be the next base, just so it's like full. Yeah, let's do that. That seems like a sensible place to start here. So let's turn the data back off. Okay. So the real question is, are these all middle right? Yeah, I think there's an argument to be made that that's middle right. Okay. that piece of road is wrong. The road datas. One of these is causing a significant error to occur. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the objects. Let's just get these to be redrawn, shall we? Oops. All right. I'm gonna delete all these. I made a bunch of changes to my road tool, and it kind of broke all of my existing roads. So I'm not getting all of the... Did I turn off the spline container? I must have done. I did. I'm an idiot. Okay. No. That's just the view of the spline container. I still need the spline. Oh. Oh, I'm looking at bottom right. Well, that's great. Okay. I'll worry about those later. That's fine. There we go. Oops. This is the only problem with some of these objects, is they're a little bit too complex in some places. Okay, so this is fine. It's just, oh yeah, right. This object is actually this one. And that's the bottom left. And I believe the bottom left road is okay. No. Did I break those intersections? Set edge data gizmo, okay. That's these guys. Yeah, okay. What? Middle. There we go. I don't know what's been going on there. This little section is kind of heavy. Not great. Is that this bit for the... No. One of these is for the other one. There we go. Okay, that needs to be at 30. And then those corners need fixing up. Whoops. Oh boy. Oh, you're drawing multiple times. Why? Oh, that was just cropping, it's clipping. No, that bottom left is there. Why is that there? Okay, these guys can just get yeeted. Why were you in the bottom left? That's weird. And it was in the bottom. That's why it was, because it was intersections being drawn in weird places. So odd. Okay. Huh. I don't know why that was. That's odd. How peculiar. Oh, this is heavy. Why is this so heavy? I don't know. I don't want to deal with this right now. So these should be 18. Because actually 18. Oh, that's not very flat. Oh, good job, Unity. Okay, we get it. This is painful. The gizmos are causing problems. There are a lot of splines in this one. I wonder if that's it. I wonder if this makes more sense to break up into like 2 different roads. Okay, let's not click. Okay, we just have to like unclick it to get the camera into position and then click it again. Oh, these are actually lower, I think. I think there is a height change here. That's minus 0.8. And that's 0. Oh! Yeah, that'll do it. And that's 0.2. Okay, so that guy was just having a bad time. Oh. Yeah, that guy was just wrong. Okay, well, hopefully that's fixed things a little bit. I think that looks more correct. Yeah, I think that looks right now. That's not straight. That's going down, but let's fix that. Okay. All right, we were going to get the buildings done. And the buildings are done, but it's getting late. I might just do one real quick, and then we'll probably wrap it up for tonight. But I think this has been a success. And we'll probably do evening streams like this if I'm going to do more of them, because I think they're most suitable. All right, one more building, and then we'll wrap it up. So we should probably match this. Probably this one over here that we've already got would probably be quite good. to have again or something similar to that? Oh, like that guy? Yeah, I think that one will work. Okay. I think I fixed that bug. I did. So we'll duplicate. That duplication went through, didn't it? Yep. No, so this just needs to go. Are we still in the upper right territory? No, we're in middle right now. I'm gonna write a piece of code that lets me move things between different objects. I'm not gonna do that now. But the more I do this, I realize it slows me down so much having to just jiggle things around the different hierarchy spots. That's annoying. Okay. Is it because it's locked? Aha. There we go. So, actually, we might need 2 sets of buildings here. I think we should have like a really tall guy. Oh. I don't hate that. Maybe we do 2 types. I think, okay, so we'll just make these the same. But something like that might work. All glass single O2? Yeah. I think we should put that there. Like that. Yeah, a little mini alley, like in the alley, is quite cute. We're gonna be blocked off by something, but that'll be cool. And then we kind of do the same thing, I think. This new tool is great. This is excellent. I'm already just sort of using it. That's great. I'm really pleased with that. That little handle is excellent. Okay. So, gosh, that's neat. You know what? I think what we'll do is we'll bring this across, right? And actually maybe make this all glass. Okay, yeah. A little bit of variation. Let's duplicate that, and then we'll bring this across. We'll bring this one down. Make it wider, right? maybe jut out a little bit. Back. Yeah, because we kind of want a nice sort of trajectory. So we'll pull that back. Maybe just a single piece. And then that looks pretty good. And then we'll increase the distribution. But we'll make the base not have any windows. And then we'll make the top have spread windows all the way around. And then on this one, I think we will just really lower the distribution of windows. Yeah. That's neat. And then I do want a door. I do want a door. Offset of 2, distribution of 0. Oh, didn't like that. 1. Got it. And then I want the doors to face us, so we just move the knots around. Yeah, that works. Okay. Yeah, that's a cool building. We can put some signs and stuff. I mean, eventually, like at some point, I want to do like fire escapes and stuff to go on top. But those kind of details aren't that important. They'll only matter when you're like up here. But even then, I don't think you'll see that much. So I don't know. I don't know if I'll even do that, to be honest. I'll put some decals in, I think. This would have like graffiti on it or something. I'm not sure. I think we should have 3 doors here, you know. This feels like a 3-door situation. I don't like those windows that just got added, though. All right. Yeah, that's good. Okay, we'll put a little base in. And then put something behind him. This side. So let's grab one of these guys. And this needs to go in the middle right. Middle right, Yeah. Do we just fill this in? I don't know if I'll fill this in or not. Maybe. It's coming together though. We're very slowly getting a city. I think it's gonna be really neat when this is all done. There's still such a long way to go. But hopefully more streams like this, we'll get it. Like it doesn't take long. It's a lot of, I think it's like the asset creation when I need to make something new that takes the longest amount of time. I mean, the cool thing is like as I add more modules to the buildings and stuff, and again, well, like I'll finish that train of thought before moving on to another one. As I add more modules to the building, that like extrapolates the variations I can have. But yeah, that takes time, and then each section needs to look a little bit different too. So But once that's, you know, making these areas, I'm sure you can see, like, doesn't actually take that long at all. It is just sort of the asset generation side of it that takes the time. So yeah, hopefully we'll make some progress this year. Over the next few months, I'm really hoping we can start getting something together. Oh, that's gonna have changed the front now, isn't it? Yeah, frick. Okay, that's good enough. A small part of me wants to just leave this open. I'll put buildings between them, but I think this being like a little I'll put a fence, I think, like a small fence. But yeah, I think we can worry about that later. I think this is good for now. I think we'll leave it here for today, for this evening. I can pick this up when I'm working on this next. I might do some streaming. We'll see how I feel tomorrow. I'll probably do it again in the evening if I do stream again. Let me know if you want to see more of this, as always. Yeah, it's been cool to hang out with you guys. Thank you so much of you for just coming and hanging out for these few hours. It's really neat and getting to chat and know some of you a bit more. So, thanks. I hope you've had fun. I hope you've learned something. I learned a few things. I think that's clear. But yeah, it's coming together, isn't it? I think it'll be really good. So I hope wherever you are in the world, you have a good day or evening or morning. Yeah, there'll be, if I don't stream again, I think I'm gonna try and do some more of these over the next few weeks. See how reception is to them, and then we'll figure out if like I can come up with some kind of schedule for it or not. But I'm enjoying it. So far, this is, you know, it's one of those things. As long as I'm enjoying it, and as long as you guys are enjoying it, we may as well keep this going. So, yeah, let me know. But yeah, as always, thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you guys in the next one. I might do some streaming tomorrow. So just keep an eye. I'll probably be around the same time. Keep an eye on your subscription box. But if not, sometime within the next week or two, again, probably evenings now. I think this is a really nice sort of time to do it. So 9 p.m. Pacific-ish, 9 p.m. Pacific, probably. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. See you guys.